If you're planning a trip to Italy, delete everything you've heard about logistics. The internet is full of outdated advice about cash scams, impossible train validations, and endless lines. But Italy has quietly undergone a massive digital upgrade. And I'm about to tell you why traveling to Italy in 2026 is completely different and easier than it was even 5 years ago. I'm Gary with Optimal Travel. Let's get started. On my very first trip to Italy, I followed the advice of the travel guides and the travel bloggers and brought a bunch of spending cash, including pocketfuls of coins for things like buses or parking or finding public bathrooms. But this is really outdated advice. In fact, on my last several trips to Italy, I hardly spent a dime in cash. In fact, Italy has really upgraded their laws into the digital age, now requiring almost every vendor to accept credit card payments. And part of this has to do with Italy's strict anti-tax evasion laws, but it's really a big advantage for us tourists because the less cash that we have to have on hand and carry around with us, the less risk we are of being subject to any petty theft or petty crimes.
On our last trip to Italy, when we came back, my husband asked me how much cash we had left. And I said, all of it. What do you mean? So he was very proud of me because I didn't use any cash.
These days, even a lot of the public bathrooms that charge for use, like those in the Roma Termini station, take a credit card or a phone tap, so you don't really have to have cash. And if you're parking, if you're renting a car and you need to find a place to park, every city in Italy now has an app that you can use to pay for that parking. So you don't have to worry about putting coins in and monitoring your time. You can do it all on an app. One pro tip though, if you are paying with credit card at stores or restaurants or really anywhere in Italy, you're often going to be faced with a choice of whether you want that charge to be put through in dollars or in euros. And always choose to put that charge through in euros. Let your bank or your credit card company convert that to dollars because you'll get a much better exchange rate. Next, I'm going to tell you exactly how to avoid having to deal with those pesky paper train tickets anymore. But first, take a minute and subscribe to our channel. That way, you won't miss our next video. A couple years back, the cousin of a good friend of mine was traveling to Italy and actually got his wallet pickpocketed while he was at a Florence train station trying to figure out how to use that train ticket machine to get his ticket out for the train. But you don't have to go through this trouble anymore because every city in Italy now has a transportation app that you can use, whether it be for the local transportation system or for the countrywide Trenitalia. If you are traveling from one city to the next in Italy, you'll be using Trenitalia, and you can use their app to not only buy tickets, but also to validate them. In fact, they will be automatically validated for the time that you buy that ticket for. And there's no risk because if you buy a ticket and you decide 5 minutes before you want to wait and take the next train, you just go right on that app and change that ticket. Now, some Italy trains, like the fast trains, the Frecciarossa, they still will check your ticket on board. And when you buy that on the app, you'll have a QR code that they scan. This makes train travel in Italy so much easier than it was many years ago. And it's the same thing in regional cities. So, for example, if you're traveling through Rome and you're on the bus system, there's an app for that. If you're using the Rome Metro, you don't even need an app. It's now using a tap and go system. So you can use Apple Pay, Google Pay. You can even tap your credit card right there on the entry turnstiles and get in onto the Metro and then get right off. And it's just going to charge you the appropriate amount for your trip. Whether you're traveling in the north and hitting cities like Florence or Milano, or you're going to head to the south and hit Sicily or maybe the Puglia region, they all have an app for their public transportation systems. So if you're going to be relying on public transport, it's now easier than ever. And then staying in touch while in Italy is now easier than ever. It used to be whenever you traveled to Europe from the United States, As soon as you got off that plane, you had to find a kiosk somewhere and get a SIM card to plug into your phone so that you could stay connected. But that's not the case anymore. These days, with the eSIM market and most phones, most modern phones accepting eSIMs, you can buy this right online before you even get there. In fact, I've got a link to some great eSIM cards in my Amazon store in the description of this video if you want to check them out. Before you even board the plane, you should have this downloaded on your phone so that when you get to Italy, you can just turn on that SIM card and you're ready to go. And that's going to come in really handy because these days there's so much information that you can get from Google or other apps to figure out where you're going in Italy, where the best restaurants are, how long the waits are at certain events. You can find live updated information. So it's really handy to have that connection throughout your trip. What do you think? Do you like to stay connected when you're on vacation, or do you like to just leave all that stuff behind? Let me know in the comments below.
I love when my husband puts these SIM cards on my phone because I don't really feel any difference. I can still streamline, watch videos, talk with my family, FaceTime. So I really recommend that. You really feel connected this way.
The last time I was in Rome, I was walking by the Pantheon and I couldn't believe how long the lines were for the ticket vendors or the ticket machines there to get a ticket to get in. These days, you don't need to wait in line for any of the major attractions in Italy. All of these tickets can now be digitized and purchased online, and you can just save that ticket on your phone and use it to get in to any of the sites. And in order to better manage all the crowds with all the tourists going to Italy these days, most of the major sites have timed entries. So when you buy that ticket, it'll be for a specific time window. And I've been to many of these sites with the time window, and you basically just walk right in. There's no waiting because you're arriving at the right time, and there's only a certain number of people going in at that time.
There's nothing more annoying than waiting in line to get tickets to a place when you just see people walking right through you with their phones and showing the tickets that they already purchased in them.
Now, if you want more than just the entry ticket, if you actually want a guided tour, then you want to use a company like Viator. I have a link to them in my description, and they offer guided tours to a lot of these sites, which typically will include that entry ticket. But make sure you're getting something more than just a skip the line ticket, because that's what you're getting anyway when you buy it directly from the site. And then a lot has been done to break down the language barrier in Italy. I'll tell you about that next, but first, take a minute and hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel. It helps us grow, and we'll continue to bring you travel content. Years ago, if you ventured anywhere outside of the major tourist hotspots in Italy, there was a bit of a language barrier, and you needed to know a little bit of Italian to get by because a lot of the locals there didn't speak any English. But that has slowly been changing. With the official rollout of Italy's digital nomad visa program, there has been a big influx of English-speaking remote workers, and a lot of them live outside of the tourist hotspots, which has caused a lot more businesses, menus, and things like that to be produced in English to accommodate more and more people living there who speak English primarily. Today, when you venture a bit outside of the major tourist hubs, you're going to find it a lot more friendly to English speakers. You'll see more signage that's also written in English, or menus that are written in English as well as Italian. And there's just a lot more Italians around now speaking a bit of English.
Even though nowadays Italians speak English more than they used to, they still appreciate when tourists try to speak their language.
All of these digital upgrades should make your next trip to Italy a whole lot easier. But these aren't the only things changing in Italy. I'll tell you what else you need to know right here.